Hello. So I'm trying something new where kind of after a convention I don't know, blog about it. It's not something I usually do. I'm kind of copying my friend Jack for this. Jack will draw. If you don't follow them, you should, because they're awesome. So last weekend, it's Tuesday now. So last weekend I was at Megacon Dublin, which I say is probably the proper name for it. And it was good. I had a fine time. The overall weekend was quite stressful for me, which I'll get into. Trying to figure out how cameras work. So Megacon Dublin. I don't believe I've ever done a Megacon before, but Megacon, these are the same people who used to run MCM back in the day before Repop took over. So MCM is now Repop and Megacon is who MCM used to be. And I was expecting, I think I got inflated, my expectations got a bit inflated a little bit, proper wise for this convention. But like it turned out fine. Like I made, good profit. Got everything paid back and came home with some munds, which is good because I ended up needing those munds because my cat Fitz. If you on my account there, you might see a random photo of him. He got himself an injury during I think it was Friday. So my cat, he broke his knee. He destroyed, as the vet said, he destroyed a ligament in his knee last year because he rolled off the bed. Of all the things that could have that wrecked him, it was literally just rolling off the damn bed, but there we go. And somehow he destroyed the ligament in his knee. Apparently the vet was very surprised he was able to destroy this ligament. Apparently it's a very hard ligament for a cat to destroy. My cat managed to do that. So last year he got surgery and he has an artificial ligament in that knee now, which helps. He hasn't been in pain overall during the year. It's definitely not as comfortable as before. Like he sits kind of a bit weirdly now, and he kind of randomly will start like licking that leg. But he's overall, he eats fine, sleeps fine, poops fine, which are all important for a cat. If your cat starts eating different or your cat starts pooping different, that's a warning sign. And he hasn't been doing any of that all this year. So overall, the knee has been semi-successful. But on the Friday morning, now I don't know if there could have been so many different reasons why his knee's hurting him, but I tripped over him. He ran across my feet and I tripped over him, and I think I must have knocked that knee with my foot. Now he seemed fine. He was walking around absolutely fine. Didn't seem to be much of a bother on him. Just gotta turn that pan down. Didn't seem much of a bother on him. But when I returned home on the Friday evening after setting up for Megacon, he was whining and whinging and giving the usual growls. My cat doesn't growl. He doesn't growl at me and he doesn't hiss at me, but he only does when he's in pain. That's like it's a great way for indicator for me to know when my cat's in pain, because he doesn't do it any other time. He only hisses and growls at me if he's in pain. So I was pretty much quite worried about him. Now again, he was walking around fine and he was eating fine, but he was also just obviously in pain. So at that point what I knew was, okay, this is not an emergency. What I'm going to do is stick my cat in the bedroom, give him all his essentials, and I'm just unfortunately just going to have to leave him in there for the day so he can rest up and not be wandering around. Which I'm at the convention and I'm pretty much just sitting there racked with guilt having to leave my son alone in a bedroom, clearly in pain. But again, it wasn't an emergency and he wasn't in mortal pain. It was just any time he moved that leg a bit, he'd be whimpering and hollering. So I had to just kind of leave him in my bedroom, kind of locked up with all of essentials for 2 days of the convention, so I'm just kind of sitting there at the convention all weekend, just worrying about him and worrying about what that means about that leg, because it cost so much money originally to get that ligament in, and I was told that it would eventually lead to early arthritis, which I was prepared for. So so I had to make a vet's appointment. The closest vet's appointment I can make, though, is on the Monday night, because another stressful thing was that because I work security, I work a nighttime security job, and I just couldn't get my schedule to change. So unfortunately I had to go straight from the convention straight to work on that Sunday evening. So pretty much up at 7 o'clock, getting ready, go to the convention, do the convention, and then go into work and work security for 14 hours. So I got home the next day, Monday morning, about 8 o'clock, been awake for 24 hours straight. I actually managed not to nod off at work. I was very surprised. I really thought I was going to nod off, going to fall asleep, at least at some point during the night while I was working. My security job's fairly low key though. They're generally there in the direct problems. As long as you're writing in the logbook every hour and answering the phones and doing your patrol every hour, you're pretty much open to do what you want for the most of the night, as long as you get those things done. But also on that Sunday evening, on that Sunday night, there was this big storm racking Ireland, Storm Maisha. So we couldn't go out to patrol even if we wanted to. No one wants to, because the wind was extremely strong and it was raining. So we didn't any patrols anyway. So we're just staying inside the whole night and, trying to stay awake basically. But I managed to. So I got home and checked on my cat, and overall what was hurting him during the weekend healed up, but because it's an old injury that the vet had told me could rear its ugly head in the future, we need to get this knee checked. Regardless if he's not in pain anymore, has to get checked. We have to see what our plan is, because does he have to get more surgery? Does he have to get injections? Does he have to get amputated? We don't know. I'll have to get for. I lied, I also got a spoon. So, have to take the cat to the vet on the Monday evening. I left it till the evening because there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to go convention, work, and then to the vet, and having to be able to be coherent to this poor vet tech about what's going on. Really don't know if I'd be able to do that without crying either. So I got home and went to sleep for about 6 hours. I think I got home about 8 in the morning, so I think I slept till about 4 o'clock, and then the appointment was about 5:15. So went to the vet, and the vet the vet didn't say butter. So the vet made it very clear that yes, she could hear a large amount of clicking going on in that knee, not from the injury, but from just over time, the arthritis that I was worried about starting to kick in. So he has early arthritis in that knee. He's only about 10, which may seem a bit old, but for a lot of cats, they can keep on living for many more years, and arthritis doesn't often kick in until a little later, kind of closer to after 10 or 13. But again, it can sometimes depend on the cat. Fitz, besides the knee problems, is a very healthy cat. So really, if he didn't have that injury, he wouldn't have a problem. So he has arthritis now, and the problem is time to figure out what we're going to do with that knee. At the moment, he's on an arthritis injection for that knee, and then he's on inflammatory goo shit that I have to put into his food, which is all going grand, just to kind of, if there is any swelling left in that knee after his injury from Friday, after me tripping over him, that should help that out, and then the injection is supposed to help with the arthritis. Now the problem is though, it's just kind of figuring out exactly what future plans I want to do with him. I do realize that this video started out as a, hey, this is how this convention went, and now I've just been talking about my cat for 10 minutes, but that's life. I really love my cat. And so it's either, so the plans are either he will get a permanent, for the rest of his life, a monthly injection for arthritis, or a monthly kind of, again, goo stuff to go in his food, and he'll have that for the rest of his life. Or amputation. So generally I tried the injection for at least this month to see how much of a difference it would make for him, and to give me a good indication of how much is that arthritis affecting him, and how much is it affecting his mood and affecting his pain. So if he is like seems to be in a much better mood, and he's even more active and just seems to be better on himself during this month after the injection, it really gives me a good clear indication that yes, the knee has been bothering him this whole month. It can be very hard to tell with cats when they're in pain. They're very good at adapting to things, so you really just kind of really have to know your cat and really pay attention, which can be really hard. But anyway, so I don't think I'll be going for the monthly injections though, because for two reasons. One, it's not sustainable. It's like €73 per month for these injections, which like my financial status could change in the future at any point, and I really don't know if that would be very sustainable for me to do. And I would have to take him down to the vet monthly to get these injections done, which I know for a fact that isn't great for me because I don't drive, and isn't great for him because he absolutely hates the vet. He's very much of a home bird, homegrown cat, and he likes being home, and taking him out to the vet always really upsets him. And I can tell how much he hates it because he gets very, very quiet and very, very still. Because he's a bit of an asshole. He's very feisty, but when he gets very, very quiet and very, very still and very, very passive, it tells me that he's quite stressed out. And he's always like that at the vet, which is great for the vet because it makes the trips easier for them to examine him. And they always think he's fantastic at the vet, but I know it's because he's just very, very scared and very stressed out. So the thought of having to take him to the vet monthly is like, I don't want to do that to him. And I don't want to do that to myself either. So the idea of like putting him on monthly injections, monthly visits to the vet for the rest of his life, it's just really not sustainable. There are these things I can put in his food, which is supposed to also help with arthritis, but the problem with those is that they could affect his livers and his blood levels and everything in his bladders, which male cats, they can get a lot of problems with their bladders as they get older, and that's also not ideal because the older he gets, the more likely he's going to have bladder problems. And if he's also taking something every day that could affect his bladder or affect his kidneys, that's just a risk I don't really want to take. So at this point, unless I get some new information, he may end up getting just the leg cut off, like just amputated, which sounds awful, but you have to understand it's a back leg, and also he's a cat. Cats are really adaptable and they can live fine with just 3 legs. Like I need to remind myself, because I do feel awful, that that's most likely the option I'm going to go with, and I feel bad. And I don't want the vet techs to think I'm some sort of barbarian by just being like, I don't want to give him medicine, just chop it off. It's horrible, but I know getting rid of the leg it's just getting rid of the problem altogether. Like his leg's never really going to get better, and really just helping with the arthritis is just, trying to sustain like that problem, just trying to keep that leg going. And if it's gonna like affect his quality of life, and for me it's not going to be sustainable, just kind of getting rid of the leg is probably the best problem altogether. Now that could be, it could lead to future problems when he's older, because he will get arthritis in at all the older your cat will get, the longer they live for, they're going to get arthritis. That's just a problem that's going to happen. But he's only 10. Like, he can live, like, cats can live up to like past 16, close to their 20s, if you're looking after them enough and they have healthy diets or nothing unexpected happens. So just like the idea of him as he's getting older and he's getting arthritis, it would be harder with only 3 legs. But then again, he would be much older and he have less energy and he's less running around the place as he is now. So I feel like that would be easier to handle in his older age. I don't know. Talking in circles. I'm supposed to be talking about conventions. Megacon was fine. I made money. I was a bit stressful. I was also very, very tired. If you came to Megacon and you bought stuff from me, you're awesome. I love you. Great. I'm making prawns. This is what I'm making. Can you see it? Yeah, so I'm making garlic prawns with mushrooms and noodles. I just watched Delicious in Dungeon, so I'm really like I want to cook because the food looks so good in that show. I actually bought the first volume of Delicious in Dungeon, and I was really excited because I actually got it on Saturday night, so I was going to read it before I went to bed. But I bought the German version, so I can't read it. I can't understand it. I don't know how I managed that. I actually thought maybe it must have been a mistake. So I looked up the listing that I bought it from, and it turns out in a very, very tiny wee section of the listing it did say language German. So can't blame anyone but myself. I'm gonna hold on to it though, because I have my sister-in-law. She speaks German, so and she like reads manga and everything. So I'm hoping she doesn't have a copy of this, so I'm gonna give it to her the next chance I get. So hopefully she'll like it and it won't go to waste. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So my next convention is Megacon, which is in I think the second week of February. So you're in Galway and you're around, come visit me. One of these days I'll do a more comprehensive video about like conventions, but I don't know. My cat's just been on my brain, so I don't know. Thanks for listening. Bye. Love you. Mwah.